Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hocking Valley Community Hospital's 55 Ways to Be a Better Me. I'm Katy Kudlapur, and I'm excited to be back talking about creating optimal health. Today, I wanted to talk about surroundings. Our surroundings actually affect the other major habits of health in our life. And I'm outside today intentionally because it is a beautiful day, and being outside is a great place for our surroundings. But in reality, places, people, and things really create our surrounding environment. And like I said, can affect the other habits of health. We've been talking about what I mean by that, habits of health, our sleep and energy, our mind and how we handle stress, motion and exercise, nutrition and hydration, and also our weight management. So believe it or not, our surroundings certainly have an impact on how we manage those other habits of health. Now, if you've been following along on the series here through the hospital lives and recordings, you have already been learning a lot about ways to become a better me. And so hopefully you have decided to take total responsibility for your own health. That's important as you make decisions in becoming a better you. Just as we'll talk about places, people, and things impacting our health, we take total responsibility for how those things affect us. So I would like to help today in our short time together create an awareness of the difference between what supports you and maybe what doesn't. So how can we optimize our surroundings? Let's start with places. Your home, you have some control over things in your home. How you set up your rooms, how you keep your rooms. Are they supportive? Do you have a lot of light that comes in through your windows? And the opposite at nighttime for your sleep. Are you able to create a cool, darker environment, a quiet environment to optimize sleep? So if those things help you to be brighter in the day, maybe darker at night. So is your home, is it supportive? Is it calming when you need it to be? And then there's your workplace. Does your surroundings in your workplace help you to be better? Do you have an open, comfortable place to work in? And is the sound level there to support you? In some workplaces, maybe we need the noise or we need the interaction. And in other things we do, we need it quiet. So you might consider those things in your workplace. And then in the outdoor space, some people live in town in busier areas. Some people live out. And is your outdoor space supporting you with maybe your exercise, your sleep, and your relaxation time? Now, outdoors, maybe you don't like yard work. Maybe as simple as possible, you like to keep the outdoors. So maybe clean and low maintenance. Maybe that keeps your stress level lower and allows you more time for other things. But on the other hand, if you enjoy yard work, you enjoy flowers and taking care of plants, and maybe that creates a calming environment for you, then consider creating that in your outdoor space. Even with small spaces, you can plant pots of flowers or plants that can be moved around if you want to kind of change your environment around. Bird baths, and even yard ornaments. It's amazing how, just as we can move things around in our home, we can move things around in our yard to create different environments. You know, perhaps different seasons, you like things different. We've worked to try to have different things bloom in different seasons. With winter, it's pretty much only the wild holly berries that get to bloom. But, you know, we might think about that. Does that bring you joy? Because our surroundings should bring us joy as well as help us to be productive when we need to be. So you might think about that with places. Now with people actually are a big part of our surroundings. At home, most likely, at work, very most likely, and you know, in our really off time too. So our relationships really are critical to everything that we do in life. So taking full responsibility of the way we react in relationships are important. Now, this might seem like it doesn't have much to do with our surroundings, but let me ask you this. If we think about playing above the line or falling below the line, what does that mean? When we are above the line, and I'm talking about in dealing with relationships, when we are above the line, we remain open and curious. Okay, maybe someone says something to you that you're not sure how to take it. If we fall below the line, we might become closed and defensive. Now, when I understood this concept, it has really helped me, because there will be times we fall below the line. That's just human nature. But being aware of that is what's important. And trying to even tell yourself, let's stay open and curious about this situation. So what does this have to do with our surroundings? If we can recognize that our brain likes to react emotionally to other people, that is kind of like a knee-jerk response compared to taking a moment, pausing, and letting our thinking brain kick in. That often can just help. That might be just the same amount of time that it takes to take a breath or to take a sip of water before we respond. So our relationships certainly have a lot to do with our surroundings, because taking that moment before we respond, if we get a little heightened, can actually create an environment of calmness. Now, this may not always work this way, but by and large, trying to be more aware of not reacting with our emotional brain and getting ourselves worked up, because, and you may have experienced this, if we get worked up about something, that can affect the project we're working on currently. It might even affect the whole rest of our day. And then as we go back to our families, those kind of feelings can carry over. This definitely affects our surroundings in the moment and for the rest of the day. So I would like you just to think about your relationships with people. And if you can take that moment when you feel like reacting emotionally and pause to allow your thinking brain to kick in, so that you can really process and then choose how you allow reactions to affect you. Maybe you need to work through it in the moment and then move on so that you can capitalize on the rest of your day. But our relationships are important in life, and many of them can be very supportive. The relationships that maybe aren't as supportive, you might consider how much time do you need to be around those people. and be intentional. Take full responsibility. It's your life and your health. And so there are people we need to work through issues with, and there are others we can maybe not need to be around quite so much. So on the other hand, our relationships are very wonderful when they're supportive of our lifestyle and our health. And I just encourage you to think about the relationships in your life, and are they supportive? And if not, how can you be a better you to improve those relationships or separate maybe yourself from some of those, because they certainly affect your surroundings as well as the people in your life. Lastly, I wanted to talk about things. So we've talked about places, people, and things. And things might be, let's come back to maybe how you have your house set up. You know, do you have clutter around? Now, we all do from time to time, but by and large, do you have kind of a calming environment? So are there certain things? Is laundry day really crazy? Can you do it differently so that things get put away right away? Maybe include everyone in your living environment to help with that. In the same way with the kitchen, you know, after dinner, can you get things put away so that you wake up to a clean sink and a clear table to start your day? Do you have, are there foods in your kitchen that don't support your health journey? Do they lay out and open that are triggers and temptations for you and cause you anxiety? Perhaps you and your family can create a place in the pantry or in a shelf in the refrigerator to put the things, if they need to be in the house, maybe that others enjoy, out of your everyday reach, so that your environment isn't cluttered with things that don't serve you well. Also, when it comes to things, I wanted to mention what we're listening to, because if the TV is on mindlessly, so you think, you know, there may be something ranting and raving on the TV that is really getting under your skin, that really is irritating you, and you aren't even necessarily aware of it. And maybe you are aware. So maybe consider, what are you listening to in the way of television or online, or what are you watching? Does it support the person that you want to be? Or do you find that certain voices may cause you anxiety or frustration? You might consider the things that you're listening to, the music you're listening to, because as we continue to talk this year about becoming a better me, the places in where we work and play, the people in who we interact with, and the things in our life should be there to help support our journey. And it does take intentionality to tweak those things and continue to do your part and take full responsibility for how your surroundings serve you. I hope you found this helpful today. I've enjoyed being with you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.